So in the last class, that is yesterday's class on computer security, we began with understanding that why information technology became popular and how information technology uses various means of hardware, software, and other kinds of tools in order to propagate information, message, and how these are vulnerable to various kinds of attack. We got to know fundamental concepts like what does it mean by computer confidentiality? What is integrity? What is a cyber crime? What does it mean by the concept of computer security? What is the concept of availability? Then we learned in the last class that attacks could be either internal attacks, external attack, an active attack, or a passive attack. And then we got to know the concept of malware, the threats to internet security or the security on internet comes in various forms. One of them would be computer malware. This we were discussing. Let's continue today here onwards. What is a computer malware? Technically, we can define it to be malicious software or software with a wrongful intention. So the programmer or the coder of the software designs the software with a malicious intention, with a bad intention. And the bad intention could be either disruption of the computer operations or allowing somebody with the unauthorized access. These are the objectives of computer malware. Result that the physical system of the computer or the data is going to be vulnerable and somebody can exploit something out of it. For example, if you attack the hardware and break down the hardware, you bring the hardware under so much of pressure that there is a physical problem appearing. Just to give an example, primary memory, main memory or RAM, these are responsible for running the computer processes. If the number of computer processes increases, the RAM will become, what will be the condition of RAM? Subhasweta, what will happen to RAM if too many processes are running in the computer? You don't know, or do you? Anyone else? The RAM is likely to get hotter. Garam Hejibo. When it becomes hotter, there will be the damage to the electronic circuitry because it can tolerate to certain degrees of temperature. Like most of the time, they're designed to tolerate up to 60 degrees of centigrade temperature. Beyond that, there would be physical damage. So in this way, hardware will get corrupt. Hardware may not work properly. Otherwise, there would be software issues like operating system would be corrupt, or maybe any program or application will be corrupt. So ultimately, any malware is designed to target either the hardware or the software or both. Malware could be of different types. There could be viruses, Trojan horse, adware, spyware, spoofing, etc. Now let us take up the first type of malware, that is virus, computer virus. Full form is Vital Information Resource Under Siege. Okay, how many of you have ever come across any computer virus? Tell me your experience if you have any. कौन-सी कोटे virus attack को अपन जानिबे केमती it is a virus attack, कैसे आपको पता चलेगा कि वो virus attack है? These concepts sometimes you need to probably experience to understand it fully. A virus is basically an infected program, means it's a malware. So if it is a program, it must have an extension like .exe, .com, .bat. These files are commonly used. .com, we know that .com means a commercial company when it is internet protocol. .exe is an executable file. Executable file means a program that is executed. Okay, for example, when you run Windows Word, PowerPoint, there is a .exe program running at the background, because of which the window is able to show you that. .bat, these are common file extensions. तो ये जो programs viruses बनाए जाते हैं, they are executed in this manner. Result, when the computer user unknowingly accesses that file, he loads the virus into the computer. Now, viruses are dangerous because they immediately capture the information resource. And the information resource is memory, primary memory. आपके कंप्यूटर में 1 टेराबाइट का हार्ड डिस्क स्पेस हो सकता है, but that memory is a ROM memory. Viruses primarily attack the primary memory or RAM memory. So if the RAM memory is occupied, आपका system धीरे धीरे slow हो जाता है and finally it halts. Virus also corrupt or delete files. Like they will change the extension of the file in such a way that that file will not be accessible. To give an example, अगर आपके पास कोई Excel file है, what is the extension of Excel files? How do you identify that a file is an Excel file, Microsoft Excel file? Generally, the extension is .xls at the end of it. So वहां से आपको पता चलता है कि ये एक Excel file है, वरना या फिर वो Excel का small icon in the beginning of the file, from that you know that it is an Excel file. Word file के सामने W लिखा रहता है, PowerPoint के सामने P लिखा रहता है. So from that you get to know that this is the nature of the file. अब मान के चलो अगर एक वायरस ऐसा है जो कि हर XLS फाइल को .jpg में कन्वर्ट कर दे रहा है. Now JPG is a file extension for which type of files? कौन से फाइल का एक्सटेंशन JPG रहता है? .jpg. .jpg is primarily picture files, photographs. तो क्या होगा? The file will get corrupt. It will not open up. So this is corrupting a file. Sometimes they delete a file altogether, or they move the file. मतलब they will not physically delete it, because if they physically delete it, then they can't be able to restore it. The objective of malware is not to only trouble people. It is also to make some money out of it. Now, terrorists, they don't have any money making business in that. So what the terrorist will do, basically, they will delete the files. But a common malware designer, a hacker, computer programmer, वो जो सॉफ्टवेयर बनाएगा, the objective would be कि कल के डेट में आपको वो ब्लैकमेल करके, एक्सप्लॉइट करके आपसे पैसे बटोर सके. So what generally they do is that these viruses, आपके फोल्डर में अगर कोई फाइल होगा, सारा का सारा फाइल वो ट्रांसफर कर लेते हैं एक हिडन फोल्डर में. Now you know hidden folder is a folder which you can't see. Any folder can be converted into a hidden folder by changing the properties. So now you had saved it in a folder, your name, like for example, you had saved it as Samiksha. The content of the folder will be taken to another hidden folder. वहां पे रह जाएगा. तो आप जाके अपने लोकेशन में, आपके पेन ड्राइव हुआ या फिर हार्ड ड्राइव में कहीं पे हुआ, you go and open that, you don't find it. आपको दिखेगा नहीं वहां पे, because it will be either hidden or it will be taken to some other location, and it will remain like that. Now your computer is virus affected. So when you purchase an antivirus software or maybe a file recovery software, through that they get the money and your files are restored into the computer. Viruses can be propagated by multiple medium. Email is a very good medium of spreading viruses. Sometimes when you open an email, कभी-कभी आपको blue letters में कुछ लिखा दिखाई देता है. Do you know that? What it is called? मतलब the mail would be written in black letters. बीच-बीच में एक दो शब्द या फिर एक दो sentences blue दिखता है, blue color में लिखा हुआ. और उसके ऊपर अगर आप mouse hover करोगे, yes, Samiksha, what is called?
I think so. Those are the links to some other
Links,
pages.
okay, but that technically we call it as hypertext. We
हाँ
call
yeah.
it as
Okay.
hypertext, a text which has a subservient program under it. उसके पीछे कोई प्रोग्राम हो, तो अगर इस हाइपर टेक्स्ट को आप क्लिक करते हो तो ब्राउजर विंडो खुल सकता है. You can open another email window. So these hypertexts are good ways of incorporating uh, any virus. So you just click on that and the virus starts to execute itself into the computer and it goes into the computer. कैसे आपको पता चलेगा that the computer is infected with any virus? First of all, the normal function of the computer would be slower. Computer responds slowly. Computer restarts itself often without your knowledge, without your intention, it will restart. Uncommon error messages, like sometimes you come across an error message which you don't understand. In these cases, you get to know that a computer has been infected by virus. Similarly, if you run an application, that application on the computer may fail to work correctly, may not be able to save it correctly. So these are the signs of computer virus. There have been very important viruses which were hit in different times upon the world's computer across the network resources. Now, like long before there used to be a virus, I love you, Creeper, Melissa, Code Red. This I love you, Code Red, and Nimada, they came just one after another in the beginning of the millennium. SQL Slammer, Blaster, Sasser, these viruses kept on targeting millions and millions of computers throughout. Now let us know technically what are the different types of viruses. One would be called as boot sector virus. Name cell is self-explanatory. This infects the master boot record of the computer. So once it gets into boot sector, we know that booting programs is the first program that is loaded in the computer, right? So जैसे कि BIOS, huh? What is the full form of BIOS? Anyone? BIOS, capital BIOS. Forgot. BIOS, basic input and output system. Whenever a computer starts, पहले जो blue screen load होता है, that is basically BIOS program. It is a booting program. So if it becomes a boot sector virus, it can actually take the full control of the computer. क्यों? It can modify any operation and process. Polyboot B, anti-exe, these are examples of boot sector virus. Multipartite virus, ये virus boot sector और execute दोनों को ये affect करता है, executable files. It is worst because it can combine some or all stealth techniques along with polymorphism. Achha. Polymorphism is a feature where a virus can attach itself to different kind of programs. मतलब कुछ साल पहले ये जो I love you virus, it was like a polymorph virus. अगर आप रन करोगे एक्सेल तो ये वायरस एक्सेल के साथ कंपैटिबल हो जाएगा. अगर आप पावर पॉइंट रन करोगे तो पावर पॉइंट में चला जाएगा. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड पॉलीमॉर्फिक फीचर. सो it includes, this is multipartite virus is even more dangerous. It completely can make your computer defunct. कुछ भी आपको करने नहीं देगा. Only thing is that probably you will have to entirely format it from the beginning, including the boot sector. तभी जाकर this virus can be compromised or removed. And the problem is that when you do such a process, you lose all the precious data. Example will be flip virus. File infecting viruses. These viruses attack extensions. Okay. So .com, .exe, they infect executable files, programs. For example, directory2 or dir2 virus. Resident virus. This virus does not immediately attack. It goes into the memory, stays there for some time, and gets activated whenever the operating system runs. Okay, now this viruses can be given in the free hardware. कभी कभार आपको इंटरनेट से ऑफर्स मिलते हैं, buy this iPod for free or at a very very low price, buy this pen drive for at a very very low price. Be careful, because this could be the sources of the resident viruses. Many times people buying this kind of hardware at a cheaper cost, for example an iPhone, one iPhone would be costing like a lakh rupee, now you get it for 6,000, and somebody buys it. So this becomes a medium for them to infect the resource which you are going to access. So most of the times iPods and other computer peripherals are used for this. So once it is being introduced to the computer, it stays there for some time. When the OS will start, it will run with it and affect all the files that are opened subsequently. जितना फाइल आप खोलते जाओगे उसमें affected हो जाएगा, जैसे कि Randex. Macrovirus is a virus that infects files that are created using applications, जैसे doc. Nowadays, most of the times you find that you have macro notices coming up in वर्ड एक्सेल और पावर पॉइंट. जब आप एक वर्ड या फिर पावर पॉइंट डाउनलोड करते हो, फ्री रिसोर्सेस जैसे इंटरनेट में अवेलेबल रहता है, बहुत सारे पीपीटीज रहते हैं, फाइल्स रहता है, तो दे हैव मैक्रो एक्सटेंशंस इन देम. अब मैक्रो वायरस मींस अ वायरस लाइक इट इज अ वायरस एम्बेडेड इन दैट एप्लीकेशन. मतलब अगर आप किसी ज्योग्राफी का पीडीएफ पीपीटी डाउनलोड करते हो और उसके साथ मैक्रो उसमें enabled है, that means उसमें कुछ programs है. So doc में, XLS में, PPS में, PPT में, कहीं पे भी they can incorporate such type of virus. Very common and famous name is Melissa virus. तो ये क्या करता है, मैक्रो बनकर आता है कंप्यूटर में, और जब आप उसको रन करोगे, उस पीपीटी को डाउनलोड करके रन करोगे, पावर पॉइंट शो रन करोगे, it becomes a part of your system. Polymorphic viruses, as I told you, that these are static viruses that get copied from file to file and it keeps on propagating itself. So these are the common types of viruses that we come across. That is not over again. Now, some viruses, one example of this polymorphic virus is given here, that is Elkan and Tuareg. Stealth virus attempt to conceal its presence from the user. Okay, it does not show that it is there, but it remains there. Stone monkey. The objective of stealth virus is to damage the hardware primarily. Hardware के ऊपर एक overload करके information and heat overload करके उसको damage करना, ये stealth virus का काम है. Override virus ये क्या करता है? It deletes the files, the information contained in the file, it infects. मतलब आपके पास फाइल तो होगा, लेकिन फाइल का कंटेंट नहीं होगा. You open, it will be like blank. Okay. In the other word, the file becomes या तो partially or totally useless. आपने 256 KB का एक MS Word document बनाया होगा, उसको सेव किया होगा आपने, जब खोलोगे it will not be anything, and you see the file size, it will show like 10 KB. So 10 KB मतलब the root file, new document file. So ultimately you understand that this file has no value, so let's delete it. So you lose data. Example, Trojan reboot, Way virus, Trivial 88D, etc. ये viruses भी commonly दिखे जाते हैं. Fat virus. Fat is a kind of, you can say, memory technique called as file allocation. हमारे कंप्यूटर में हार्ड ड्राइव हो गया या फिर पेन ड्राइव हो गया, कहीं पे भी जब हम कुछ डेटा स्टोर करते हैं, ये एक डेटा फॉर्मेट में स्टोर होता है. Either it would be NTFS or it would be FAT. तो sometimes अगर कभी आपने पेन ड्राइव को फॉर्मेट करने की कोशिश की होगी, आप लोगों ने कभी किया होगा, तो आपको पहले ये सब साइन दिखेगी आप किस तरह से इसको फॉर्मेट करना चाहते हैं, NTFS सिस्टम में और फैट सिस्टम में. सो फैट का फुल फॉर्म है फाइल एलोकेशन टेबल. It is basically a memory technique. I don't want to get into details of that क्योंकि वो आपके लिए जरूरी नहीं है for the from the awareness point of view, but you should remember the full form. ये आ सकता है कहीं पे objective question. So file allocation table or FAT system is easily vulnerable. ये थोड़ा less secure रहता है than the NTFC systems, NTFS systems. Well, गिविंग एन एग्जाम्पल, आप लोगों ने कभी अगर पेन ड्राइव यूज किया होगा, पेन ड्राइव्स आर मोस्टली फाइल एलोकेशन सिस्टम टेबल यूजर्स, फैट यूजर्स. NTFS system of files was designed with a specific operating system called as Window NT. I don't exactly remember the year of launch of Windows NT, but it was somewhat around 1998. तो विंडोज एनटी लॉन्च होने के साथ ये NTFS और NT फाइल सिस्टम ये बना. तब से ये ऑपरेट होता आ रहा है आज तक भी. कंप्यूटर फॉर्मेटिंग इन द IBM PCs, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट विंडोज PCs, NTFS और फैट सिस्टम ये दोनों फाइल को यूज किया जाता है. लेकिन ये जो पेन ड्राइव्स वगैरह आते हैं, मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स दे आर फॉर्मेटेड लाइक फैट. फैट में डेटा स्टोर करना, सेव करना इजी होता है, क्विकर. But the problem with it is that it is insecure, more insecure. That is why a virus can attack fat file easily. So Microsoft के जो भी products हैं जो कि कंप्यूटर में इंफॉर्मेशन स्टोर करते हैं, उसको वो मॉडिफाई कर सकता है. This is called as a fat virus. An example would be link virus. So have you all understood what is virus and what are the types? If you still have any doubt, any one of you may ask. कार किसी डाउट रहेला? किसी का कोई डाउट है?
No, sir.
No. Good. The next area we have to learn is about worms. Worm is also a type of program. It is a malware. But the difference of a worm is that it can replicate itself and spread across a computer network. Okay? Networks, all the types of network, LAN, WAN, MAN, whatever network we have, worms can replicate and spread throughout them. तो एक बार अगर एक नेटवर्क में ये पहुंच गया, फॉर एग्जांपल आपका एक कॉर्पोरेट है, योर ऑफिस हैज 100 PCs, 100 कंप्यूटर्स. आपके कंप्यूटर के एक नोड में, मतलब आपके नेटवर्क के एक कंप्यूटर में अगर ये आता है, then using the LAN protocols, it will spread throughout all the computers. Okay, so worms attack systems that are linked through communication lines. So now it is more dangerous, क्योंकि just you don't have to infect all the computer. You need to target a big corporate, suppose like TCS, Bhubaneswar, in its campus has 3,000 or 4,000 computers. बस आपको एक ही सिस्टम में उसको डालना है, कैसे भी करके, और वहां से it keeps on transferring itself from one to another. So there is the fundamental difference between a virus and a worm. Once active within a computer, जब एक कंप्यूटर में वो आ जाता है और एक्टिवेट हो जाता है, it starts to create replications. अपने आप को replicate करता है and performs many disruptive functions. Worms do not attach themselves to file. They exist as separate entity. ये वायरस से अलग है. Worm क्या करेंगे ना? They will be there and they will do something. जरूरी नहीं है कि worm will be getting connected to PowerPoint, Word, etc. Worms, once installed, they can do many things. They can give you a remote access. For example, ये जो hackers हैं, जो कि आपके important information को steal करना चाहते हैं, generally वो worms को use करते हैं. Now, ways and means are different. और आज के समय में तो it is like very, very risky and dangerous. There are different advertisements which keep on coming. mailers which keep on coming, और कहीं पे उस मेल में एक वर्म हो सकता है, आप उसको क्लिक करोगे, फिर your computer resource become open for him. Generally, to block the computer communication, we have a system in the computer. It is called as firewall. Have you heard this term, firewall? Firewall कभी आपने ये नाम सुना है? Might have heard, must have heard, I think. So firewall is a technique by which your computer stops unauthorized internet access. लेकिन ये firewall में breach कर देते हैं. Result is that internet को use करके कोई भी आपके कंप्यूटर के अंदर access कर सकता है. They can see your files, they can take away your files, they can take away your key input, etc. Clear? And not only that, आपके email में जितने भी लोग हैं एड्रेस बुक में, ये उनके पास भी जा सकता है. That is why they spread fast. 1989 में एक worm आया था, wank. It infected many VAX and VMS computers on span network. This worm changed the system of announcement messages to worms against nuclear killers. Well, this is a technique actually. Trojan horse is another form. Trojan horse self-replicating नहीं है. It is a malicious software that pretends to be harmless. Well, I'm giving an example. ये नाम क्यों आया? This name comes from a historical event, the Trojan War. Do you know about Trojan War? Trojan War is a historical war in Greece. War of Troy कहा जाता है. This kingdom was invincible. तो सोल्जर्स ने क्या किया, वहां के राजा ने क्या किया, एक घोड़े को लिया. He built a very big horse, and in that horse, it was made up of wood. Every plate of that horse was a shield. एक ढाल था, और इन शील्ड को जोड़ जोड़ कर उन्होंने एक हॉर्स बनाया, और उसके अंदर all the soldiers hid, the best of the warriors वो छुप के उसके अंदर रहे. This horse was sent as a gift to the king. King ने सोचा कि ये क्या है, बस लकड़ी का एक घोड़ा ही तो है. So when he took it inside the fort, जब किले के अंदर उन्होंने ले लिया, then this at some nights, at some point of night, these people came out from the horse and attacked and destroyed the kingdom of Troy. So from that the Trojan horse name comes. तो यहाँ पे malicious software लगता है कि जैसे कि it's not a dangerous software, so that the user can usually download it to the computer. जैसे a dictionary app, this app, that app. But the Trojan under it, even it could be as simple as this कि बहुत समय पे ना लोगों को लुभाने के लिए there are certain wallpapers, photographs, scenery, तो उनका वेबसाइट बनाया जाता है, नॉन सिक्योर वेबसाइट्स. फिर आप जाके वहां पे एक फोटोग्राफ आपको बहुत अच्छा लगा, आपने क्लिक किया. By double clicking that photograph even, the program can run. Trojan can infect the system and it creates a loophole. अच्छा, what is the loophole? सॉफ्टवेयर के अंदर घुसने के लिए आपको विंडो चाहिए, आपको प्रोग्राम विंडो चाहिए. जब तक आपको प्रोग्राम विंडो नहीं मिलेगा, यू कांट ब्रीच इट, ब्रीच द सिक्योरिटी. तो अगर ट्रोजन क्या करता है, होल बना देता है, लूप होल्स, देन द पर्सन यूजिंग वेरियस एप्लीकेशन कैन स्टील योर डेटा फ्रॉम द कंप्यूटर. आज के समय में इट इज अ वेरी कॉमन टेक्निक. कंप्यूटर में, वॉर्म्स में, लॉजिक बॉम्ब्स में ये सारा प्लान कर दिया जाता है. तो इट मे हैपन that you may remove a virus, but the Trojan will remain. Sometimes the Trojan can be even strongly planned. you can time plan the Trojan. Time plan in the Trojan in the sense कि suppose 2021 जनवरी महीना 25 तारीख दिन के 12 बजे ट्रोजन एक्टिव होगा. So that point of time Trojan will get active. तो तब तक वो silently आपके कंप्यूटर में रहेगा. And when the timer, the clock timer of the computer touches the point, it will get activated. These are programmed in that way. Symantec classifies. Symantec is a big company for antivirus manufacturing, and the product is known as Norton Antivirus, Norton. I hope you have heard that. Norton Antivirus is one of the most trusted and very old company products, Symantec. So Symantec Corporation classifies Trojan horses based on their primary payload functions. जैसे backdoor Trojan. ये एक ट्रोजन है जिसका काम है ओपनिंग अ बैकडोर so that the remote access can be done at a later time. For example, दिन में अगर कोई आपके डेटा के साथ छेड़छाड़ करता है तो शायद आप जान जाओगे. But when the computer is off, the computer is in sleep mode at night, then through the backdoor, the hacker or the person who's trying to steal the data can access. Once during my career, I saw one of the employees of the company trying to access the company resource through backdoor entry. And I had reported that, and we had also taken a strong action against that person. He was basically a software engineer and was trying his hands on hacking, forgetting that he is getting salary from the company. Anyway, second one was downloader. What's a downloader? It's a Trojan. The primary goal is downloading another software, usually a malware. मतलब ये प्रोग्राम तुम्हें आपके कंप्यूटर में आ जाएगा और एक पर्टिकुलर टाइम में या फिर कहीं पे भी आपके परमिशन के साथ और परमिशन के बिना आपके कंप्यूटर में कुछ ऐसे प्रोग्राम्स इंट्रोड्यूस कर देगा जो कि आप नहीं चाहते थे, नॉन इंटेंडेड प्रोग्राम्स. So these non-intended programs keep on running, consuming your memory. The non-intended programs also damage the computer. Info stealer. This is another Trojan which steals information from the compromised computer. ये very, very common in bankings. Long before these government banks, before they were not so much into cyber security, I have seen them in Odisha also. The my bank where my account was there, it's long back, like 2012 years back I'm talking about. I had gone to the manager's chamber. I could very easily identify that it was a popular Trojan. It had infected a computer and the screen had become green. It was giving all the bullshit messages by infecting the computer with the virus. I told the manager, sir, your computer is, this computer is infected with a Trojan and a worm. One was worm 32. He said, yes, yes, I know. That's why we have just kept it aside. I was, oh my God, what a stupid answer. That's why we have kept it aside. Doesn't mean anything. Because still that was connected with the computer server, whatever. It was not a computer server, but it was more of a node. But first you should have broken the connection. It was still connected, and they say that we have kept it aside, means we are not using it. Look at this. So this was the kind of training of the bank managers 15, 16 years back. So info stealers are very good platforms for them. So they can steal the information from the compromised computer. Kiske account mein kitna paisa hai, kaun kya kar raha hai, whatever is being done, that can be taken. Trojan programs are generally spread through email attachment. That is why unsolicited emails, spam mails, isko aap respond mat kijiye, because you don't know. Sorry students, I had been disconnected for a while. Am I audible right now?
Yes, sir.
Now am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry. There, due to some network issue, I was disconnected for a while. So till what point had you heard it clearly? Could you understand what is info stealer? Info stealer.
No, sir, you were explaining the incident happened like
Huh.
the
So that is
Trojan.
basically info stealer is a kind of program that steals information, can be spread with the email. Well, Trojan horses, one of the most famous Trojan horses is back orifice. Okay, this affects Microsoft's back office suite of programs for anti server. ये anti server के लिए डिजाइन किया गया था to steal Microsoft data or Microsoft computer running data. So then the next category of software is spyware. Any doubt till now? कोई doubt है किसी का? If you have any doubt, you can
No, sir.
always use the chat box also at any point of the lecture for understanding the concepts. Now let us go to spyware. What's a spyware? Again, it's a malicious program which monitors the activity of the computer and reports that information to others without users' knowledge. Example. For example, you are accessing a bank account. तो आपके बैंक अकाउंट में कितना पैसा है वो हैकर के लिए इतना जरूरी नहीं है, आप कौन सा पासवर्ड यूज करते हो वो उसके लिए ज्यादा जरूरी है. So the spyware basically records and monitors your computer activity. बीच में भुवनेश्वर में spyware पकड़े गए थे. I'm talking about the year of 2005 or 6. And the biggest notorious criminals in this were the cyber cafe. Cyber cafe is used by everyone. So what the spyware hackers would do, these different students who are ready to steal money from others and etc., they will use the cyber cafe for this. वो cyber cafe में आएंगे, अलग अलग कंप्यूटर में they will be coming with their pen drives, they will use that pen drive and upload the spyware. The spyware then remains active. It keeps on recording keyboard activity and it will be creating a log. फिर some other time this person will come to the same computer and will note down and take out the keyboard log. अगर आपका बैंक है फॉर एग्जांपल बैंक ऑफ हैदराबाद, तो बैंक ऑफ हैदराबाद अगर आप तो आप टाइपिंग तो करोगे ना bankofhyderabad.com, सो दैट गेट्स रिकॉर्डेड. उसके बाद आप यूजर नेम पासवर्ड डालोगे, तो द यूजर नेम एंड पासवर्ड विल गेट रिकॉर्डेड एज अ लॉग and spyware would be doing that. So now I know your username, I know your password, it's easy for me to hack and even transact in your name. So spywares were designed for this purpose. They track and store users' internet browsing pattern, such as login, additional software, redirecting from browsers to untrusted sites. Okay, how do you know that it is untrusted site? When you open up, you will generally find, for example, you open google.com, तो आपको ब्राउजर विंडो में साइड में एक लॉक दिखेगा, ताला, ताला का आइकॉन. तो अगर ये आइकॉन तुम्हें मिल रहा है तो अंडरस्टैंड दैट इट इज अ सिक्योर सर्वर. जिस सर्वर से तुम एक्सेस कर रहे हो दैट सर्वर इज अ सिक्योर सर्वर. लेकिन अगर वहां पे HTTPS प्रोटोकॉल नहीं है, the signal is like HTTP and the clock sign is missing, then you understand that is insecure site. So insecure site can easily introduce malware into your computer. I am very it was like very unfortunate to see that many of the government websites of state government of Odisha and some central government websites for a long time, they were infected with malwares. And लोग उसको access करते हैं. So with that, they get it for free, the malware for free. Common example is BSNL. BSNL site for a very long time, even before 2 years, 2 साल पहले तक भी ये malware infected था. That is an untrusted site. So this will gather the bank, credit card information, etc. They for this also they modify the software setting and By adding some cookies, they can also slow down the computer. So this is called as a spyware. Then comes logic bomb. What is a logic bomb? Logic bomb, name explanatory. It is a program or a portion of the program. This remains silent until a specific part of the program or the logic is activated. तो ये पहले से प्री प्रोग्राम होके रखा जाता है. जब कंप्यूटर सिस्टम एक स्पेसिफिक डेट को टच करता है, then it starts to work. Okay. Well, in this way, this is very useful for the extortions, the people who are doing extortion of money. तो वो क्या करेंगे? They will pre-plan the attack before 1 year or 1.5 years, like terrorists and all. And at one point of time, the logic bomb will get activated. A famous example is Michelangelo. Michelangelo is the name of a painter, but it's a logic Angelo. Okay. It was programmed to trigger on Michelangelo's birthday. Terrorists basically may use such logic bomb to create mass scale disruption in the computing systems. Another is like adware. Adware means advertising supported software. Okay. This is a software that gives the user with advertisement embedded in the application. Like right now, you see that many of the apps which are available on the mobile phone, Android, they are mostly adware. उसमें आप सॉफ्टवेयर रन करते रहोगे और ऊपर और नीचे एड चलता रहेगा, ये करो वो करो, which is sometimes very very disturbing. Sometimes also obscene ads keep on coming there. So these come with the freeware or shareware. जो प्रोग्रामर प्रोग्राम डिजाइन करके उसको पॉपुलराइज करने के लिए लोगों में देते हैं. हेलो हेलो हेलो.
Hello, sir.
Okay, am I audible or still the network is breaking?
No, yeah, now it's audible.
There's some issue going on right now from the morning itself, I see. So I was telling you moments back regarding adware. This adware gets added and displays advertisements automatically without users' permission. There are some drawbacks. First of all, it slows down the computer speed and it keeps on constantly popping up with advertisement that may disturb the user. So ultimately, they will force the user to buy the software for some prices, for some charges. The next one is rootkit. What is a rootkit? It is a malware that installs in the system. It is necessary for them to remain concealed to avoid detection. They get into the root files. Rootkit modify the host's operating system. ये operating system को ही corrupt कर देते हैं, so that the malware is hidden from the user. Rootkit can prevent a malicious program from being visible to the system list processes. For example, आपका computer slow हो गया है, आप क्या करोगे? Task manager में जाकर जो running programs है वो check करते हो, क्या क्या program मेरे PC में चल रहा है. लेकिन when your computer is infected with a rootkit, it won't even show that. वो भी दिखाएगा नहीं. So these are the various types of malware. Then in the computer or internet, we come across many other types of problems or different types of computer problems. These are associated with internet. They could be computer internet based attacks, internet fraud, DOS attack, phishing, etc. That actually, I don't know, I have some time with me. I will try to go as quick as possible upon this. To begin with, internet fraud. Fraud means trying to create a misidentity and take a benefit out of it. Different type of internet frauds are spam. Spam matlab unsolicited mail, the mail which you don't want. Phishing or spoofing. In this, we will get into discuss all of them one after another. Then there could be chain letter scam or hoax mail. Then purchase scams, less delivery, non-delivery of purchase, Ponzi or pyramid schemes, etc. We will get to know some of them. How do they work? To begin with, let us understand what is phishing. Well, phishing is a fraudulent activity which a person or a business pretends to be trustworthy, but it is not actually. तो यहाँ पे क्या किया जाता है? Right now, ATM and mobile phishing is going on in India. आपको कॉल आएंगे कि आपका बैंक अकाउंट, क्रेडिट कार्ड खराब हो गया है, पेटीएम के वजह से आपको इतना पैसा गिरा हुआ है, आपके अकाउंट में ट्रांसफर नहीं हो रहा है वगैरह, एंड दे विल सीक important information regarding your account. So credit details, your user information, your mother's maiden name, इस तरह का डेटा कलेक्ट करते हैं. Phishing is not one technique, it is a hybrid technique. मतलब इसमें टेक्नोलॉजिकल एंड सोशल इंजीनियरिंग दोनों काम देता है. मतलब यहाँ पे डिजाइन किया जाता है कैसे इंफॉर्मेशन निकालना है. साइबर क्रिमिनल्स अडॉप्ट दिस टेक्निक बाय सेंडिंग मिलियंस ऑफ फ्रॉडुलेंट ईमेल मैसेजेस. आपके ईमेल आ जाएगा, आपके लिए 1 मिलियन रुपए यूके का एक ट्रस्ट देने जा रहा है, उनके पास कोई पैसा नहीं है वगैरह वगैरह. एंड ये जो कम्युनिकेशन आता है, दैट सीम्स टू कम फ्रॉम ट्रस्टेड वेबसाइट सच एज बैंक और क्रेडिट कार्ड कंपनीज. उनका लोगो कॉपी करके डालकर वो मेल भेजते हैं, आपको पता नहीं चलता. सो इन दिस वे दे कलेक्ट इंफॉर्मेशन. एटीएम कार्ड को फिश किया जाता है, बैंक इंटरनेट बैंकिंग को फिशिंग किया जाता है, और आज के समय में मोबाइल बैंकिंग को भी पेटीएम वेटीएम वगैरह को भी फिशिंग किया जा रहा है. तो बी ऑल ऑफ यू बी वेरी केयरफुल. Next comes to DOS or DOS attack, denial of service attack. This is kind of a technique which actually developed during the Cold War period. But then Russian terrorist groups, they mastered this. DOS service or DOS attack is a type of attack जिसमें कि क्या किया जाता है, एक कंप्यूटर नेटवर्क को यूज करके, right? The cyber criminals prevent the internet site from functioning temporarily or permanently. मतलब एक अकाउंट, एक कंपनी का अकाउंट, फॉर एग्जांपल गूगल इज बीइंग यूज्ड बाय सपोज मेनी यूजर्स. तो डॉस अटैक करके वो गूगल को डिफंक्ट कर देंगे, गूगल खुलेगा नहीं आपके सिस्टम में, आपके मोबाइल फोन में. तो देन obviously they get a chance to take some money from those people. DOS attackers target heavy traffic sites. Heavy traffic sites मतलब जहां पे लोग बहुत एक्सेस करते हैं, जैसे बैंक साइट्स, पेमेंट गेटवे, okay? Even sometimes they copy the name of their servers to design the attack. Many organizations, primarily financial organizations, ये DOS attack से financial losses को face करते हैं. In this way, they disrupt the connection between two systems. तो जब आप बैंक प्रोसेस कर रहे होगे, पेमेंट प्रोसेस कर रहे होगे, प्रोसेस नहीं होगा. They disrupt the service to a specific system or specific person. तो सर्वर को अगर आप अटैक किया तो उस सर्वर से खुलेगा नहीं. मतलब आप गूगल मीट खोलना चाहोगे, गूगल मीटिंग खोलेगा नहीं. Prevent a particular individual from accessing service. तो आपके बैंक के एम्प्लॉइज को वो आपके जो बैंक का वेबसाइट है उसको स्टॉप कर देंगे, प्रिवेंट कर देंगे. अटेम्प्ट टू फ्लड अ नेटवर्क एंड देयरबाय प्रिवेंट लेजिटिमेट ट्रैफिक. अब फ्लडिंग अ नेटवर्क मतलब देखो, जैसे कि डेटा, इंपॉर्टेंट डेटा भी है और नॉन इंपॉर्टेंट डेटा भी है. तो अगर आपके पूरे नेटवर्क में मिलियंस एंड मिलियंस ऑफ ईमेल आने लगे तो सारा का सारा डेटा उसी में चला जाएगा. इंपॉर्टेंट डेटा यू विल नॉट गेट. और it will become very, very slow. This is called DOS. DOS attacks result of significant loss of time and money to the companies, big organization. So, and sometimes if the customers get lost, then it will be very, very difficult for them to build it up. So this is DOS. Farming. Farming occurs when hacker exploits vulnerability in the domain name system. Okay, domain name system, DNS. एक कंप्यूटर वेबसाइट को एक्सेस करने के लिए आपको डोमेन नेम की जरूरत पड़ती है, जैसे .com, .edu. द डोमेन नेम सिस्टम इज क्वाइट स्पेसिफिक, मतलब एक साइट के लिए एक नाम से दो डोमेन नहीं हो सकते. मतलब GYPPC Academy of Skills.com दो नहीं हो सकता, एक हो सकता है. ठीक है. So currently, after February month, I have closed the website of GYPPC with a full intention to close it. But at this point of time, if somebody tries to access or create a double domain by hacking or farming, then you will find another website in the same name, but it is not there. This is called domain hijacking. कभी कभार कंप्यूटर से टोटल डोमेन का इंफॉर्मेशन विक्टिम के कंप्यूटर से किसी और के पास चला जाता है. जैसे कि आप लोगों ने कभी कभी सुना होगा, आजकल फेसबुक डोमेन्स हैक हो रहा है. मतलब आपका अकाउंट आपका नहीं होगा, योर अकाउंट वुड बी ऑपरेटेड बाय समवन एल्स. दिस इज बीइंग डन. दिस इज कॉल्ड फार्मिंग. डंपस्टर डाइविंग. Dumpster diving is a technique of collecting personal information of an individual or organization by shifting through their trash. Acha, what do you mean by trash? See, whenever you have email, तो email को आप लोग क्या करते हो? Delete करते हो. And the deleted email is not visible to you, but it goes into the bin called as trash bin. Dustbin जो उसमें चला जाता है. And there it is there. So now these people create some logic through which they scan these information, and from that they get some patterns, they understand some algorithm through which they are able to find out information जो कि vital रहता है. So आपके trash bin से, dustbin से वो चाहे तो information निकाल सकते हैं. Actually these are intelligence techniques. मतलब CBI, CIA, all these bodies ये सारे tools को use करते थे. But later on, when it went into the hands of these cyber criminals, they are using this. तो इससे आपके personal identification, personal communication, ये सब मिल जाता है information, और इसी को लेकर वो आपको exploit कर सकते हैं. कभी कभार ब्लैकमेल कर सकते हैं. फाइनेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन मध्य they can take it out. Okay, so this is what it is. Now another is called as eavesdropping or emanation. Eavesdropping, here the computer emit energy in different forms such as radio waves. These emissions carry information and data with them. They become noticeable when they interference with a near radio receiver. Eavesdroppers क्या करते हैं? सपोज आपके कंप्यूटर से एक केबल निकलता है, उस केबल में वो एक ट्रैकर लगा देंगे. मतलब इट इज लाइक अराउंड द केबल. आपके केबल के ऊपर एक क्लिप की तरह जेमती गोटे साड़ी सुखेबा पई क्लिप थाए, सेमती गोटे क्लिप टे लगे देबे. से क्लिप रे गोटे ब्लूटूथ डेटा ट्रांसमीटर थिबो. से कोन करिवो, आपनकर जो डेटा बाहरुची ताकू कॉपी करके एग्जैक्टली सेही डेटा रो गोटे कॉपी आ गोटे कंप्यूटर को पठे दबो. सो रिजल्ट ऐसा होता है कि आपके कंप्यूटर से डेटा निकलकर किसी और कंप्यूटर में जाता रहेगा. यू वोंट बी नोइंग दैट. Same way, when you are connected with Bluetooth in open network, okay, open access networks, then anybody can take whatever you are communicating with the other system. This may also happen. Then comes spoofing. Spoofing is a technique with which the perpetrator impersonates or masquerades someone else. कोई और बनकर आता है and makes the victim to do something which otherwise he wouldn't. For example, I communicate, I have an email ID, I create a same email ID and a criminal creates the same ID of that of mine and accesses my wife or my friend to send me some money into some particular account. This is called spoofing. It includes downloading a malicious software or virus. Spoofing is done by sending emails, fake email, by faking someone else's email address. Masquerading is a type of spoofing also. इसमें perpetrator कुछ और बनकर they try to threaten. They can take the communication of a police department and try to threaten somebody that this charges are going against you, and then they try to build up a communication, etc. Salami technique. Salami technique is a technique which is which was done by a, what is the name, I'm not recalling. There was a Russian and German uh, hacker. This man amassed $9 million within a span of 3 months. 3 महीने में 9 million American dollars उसने बना लिया. लेकिन कैसे किया? He did it by salami technique. Salami technique is a way in which, see, वो आपके बैंक्स के अनऑथराइज्ड एक्सेस तो लेंगे ही, लेकिन आपके बैंक से हजार हजार रुपए नहीं लेंगे. अगर हर एक के अकाउंट में से एक एक रुपए ले लेते हैं और बैंक के 200 मिलियन कस्टमर्स हैं, तो यू बिकम द ओनर ऑफ 2 मिलियन रुपीस. दिस टेक्निक इज कॉल्ड सलामी टेक्निक. तो इससे क्या आपको पता नहीं चलता, अगर आपके अकाउंट में 12,374 रुपए थे, आज वो 12,373 रुपए हो गए. यू वोंट बी नोइंग दैट, but someone would be making a hell lot of money out of that. Session hijacking. This was like when Zoom as a platform was launched, कुछ मार्केट में इस तरह रूमर चला था कि they are going for session hijacking. इसमें क्या होता है ना, any file or a session is being taken over by the criminal. Criminal waits until the user is online and has not properly logged out. Session को terminate किए बिना वो छोड़ देते हैं. So the hacker takes a control of the session as an unauthorized user. Now, with a lot of security features, these have been taken care of. Spam email, आपको पता होगा कि यहाँ पे user का actual identity नहीं होता. वो they keep on spending mail to fool the customers. Spam emails require the recipient to open the email and click on a link. ये लिंक ओपन करने से वो आपके कंप्यूटर में वायरस छोड़ सकते हैं, वॉर्म छोड़ सकते हैं वगैरह. Hackers are a different world. We will deal with the hacking and associated techniques in the coming times. So whatever I have taught today, has anyone got any kind of doubt? Samiksha, Samir, Kiranmay?
No, sir. But
Okay.
sir, in between your voice was breaking, so
I
that
will
time.
send the video lecture of it. Okay.
Okay, okay, sir.